What's going on, guys? Lone Driver Mike again, bringing you another video. Guys, how's it going? Heading back home now, but I needed to make a quick little video. This is very important. Actually, this is mostly for the customers. So yeah, I just had an issue right now with a not really an issue, but I need to talk about this so that this doesn't happen in the future, guys. Yeah, so I'm on the freeway, that's why I'm talking kind of loud. I just don't know if you guys can hear me. But yeah, in this video we're going to talk about asking for utensils and napkins. Like if you do Doordash, if you're a customer and you need utensils and napkins, make sure you put that in the notes, or there might even be a utensil button on the actual, on whatever you're ordering from. So let me explain that real quick. I want to apologize because I am on the freeway and I'm trying to get off as quickly as possible, and so I can tell you guys what's going on. So yeah, I'm just getting off right now. Okay guys, so yeah, I just had an issue right now. PF Chang's, so you know, this is their policy, I guess. So if you order off the Doordash app, guys, and I guess there's an actual utensil button. You have to click it. Now there's cars coming. Yeah, there should be enough light, hopefully. Yeah, there's actually a utensil button that you have to press, which I wasn't aware of. And there might be a few other restaurants. Maybe, I'm gonna guess maybe, like some of these chain restaurants, they're a little bit more strict. So if you order, let's say DoorDash or another app, you know, Grubhub or Caviar, if you need utensils or napkins, please let us know. And like, there are some rare occasions where you have to order them. Now they're not going to charge you, but you have to click on the app that you want utensils, which is really stupid. Like, I don't know why, but I just did it at PF Chang's, and then I saw that the customer was at a hotel, because I remember all the addresses. I remember all the addresses for like downtown. So like, if you order, if you're at a restaurant or if you're at a hotel, I'm gonna know like the address. You know, like 1230 is the Sheraton on J. You know, like so I know like all the where all the hotels are at pretty much. You know, a lot of them are on J, some are on Alhambra or 30th Street. So if you're at a hotel, I just need, this is for the customers mostly. But if you're a driver, most restaurants don't care. But yeah, if they're at a hotel, and this is for the customers too. Like if you're at a hotel, put it in the notes. I'm at the Holiday Inn Express. Make sure I get napkins. Make sure I get utensils. Or like I said, if you happen to order from PF Chang's, there will be a utensil button. And he specifically told me, he said, look man, I know you're doing your job and everything. He didn't really say that, but basically he was like, look, basically he was just like, hey, you know, if they didn't request it, they're not gonna get it. So I was like, are you serious? So I try not to get mad about it, but they have, like PF Chang's, they're a chain, they're like a franchise, so it's not like they're just a mom and pop, like, oh yeah, here's utensils. I think it's so stupid just because it's like, especially if you're at a hotel, you need your utensils and napkins. So I have a good feeling I'm gonna get a bad rating for that, but it's not my fault. So I'm like, are you kidding me? So yeah, they were at a hotel, 300J, I think Holiday Inn. And yeah, so I'm like, oh shoot. And I was looking through the bag. I'm not touching no food because I don't do that. I'm looking through the bag. I'm like, I don't see utensils. So I go back in there, right? Because us as dashers, you know, think ahead. If they're at a hotel and you know, if you know about it, like, oh, this address, this is the Holiday Inn, or this is whatever hotel or motel, or Motel 30 or Motel 6 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So if you know they're at a hotel, go out of your way and ask the merchant. Say, hey, you know what? They're at a hotel. would it be a possibility? Just be nice about it, because it doesn't, you know, it's not going to hurt you. But PF Chang's, they're really strict. So on Doordash, the merchant can actually add items to their menu. And so they actually added utensils and napkins and fortune cookies and soy sauce and every little thing you can actually want extra. It's free, obviously. It's free, but you still got to order it on the app. So if you guys ever are just craving some PF Chang's, but you're like, let's say your dishes are dirty, or let's say you're at a hospital, or maybe you're at work, or maybe you're at the hotel or the motel, or let's just say you're somewhere where you don't have access to, like, for utensils and napkins. And most of the time, if you're not at your house, if you're at your job or at the school, if you're at your job, the school, wherever, hotel, motel, wherever you're at, you need something to eat with, right? Unless it's burgers and fries, you don't need utensils for that. But if you need, like, if you're eating some Chinese food or whatever you need utensils for, you need that. So, I mean, I was just polite about it. I'm like, well, he needs utensils and napkins. He's like, you know, and he showed me the app. Look, they did not request it. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I didn't want to start an argument, you know, because I don't like to do that. You know, I like to be very professional with both the customers and the merchants, because, like I said, this is my livelihood. And if you're out there, like, harassing the customers or harassing the merchants, you're like, yeah, they're going to get mad. They might call Doordash or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So you don't want to do that. So I'm just like, okay, that's fine, you know, like, that's your, you know. And he said, this is policy. I can't do nothing about it. He's like, you know, even if they called right now and was like, hey, can we get utensils and napkins, since they didn't request it on the app, that we can't get it for them. Like, sorry, that's it. It's done. Their order's done with. So, like, they're strict. So if you guys order as a customer PF Chang's and you don't click the utensil button, you will not get it. It doesn't matter if you're at your job, you're at a hotel. I mean, I even showed him, like, look, 300J. They're at the, you know, the hotel. And he's like, hey, man, this is not personal. This is business. And so I'm like, I understand. That's fine. You know, and I just let him know. I'm like, I might get a bad rating for this, but it's all good. You know, I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at nobody. But, you know, I just have to make a video about it so everyone gets educated on this. Because, you know, I don't want this to happen again. So I don't know if I'm going to get a bad rating. But, yeah, guys, always make sure the customer gets utensils, napkins, extra sauce. If they get a burrito or some nachos, make sure they get some salsa. If they order a burger and fries, make sure you get some ranch and ketchup. You know, and always, if you can remember, always grab some utensils and napkins. But on certain apps and certain restaurants that you order from as a customer, if you, like I said, PF Chang's, they're really strict. So from now on, guys, if you order from PF Chang's or whatever, or just scroll through the app, see if there's a utensil button. Because if you don't press that button or put it in the notes like, I'm at this hotel, see, like, I'm smarter than the average dasher. I already know all the addresses. I go above and beyond what I'm supposed to do. I'll actually grab utensils, napkins, and I'll make sure, like, oh, this is a hotel. You know, I'll run back. I actually ran back in the restaurant. I'm like, hey, this guy needs this and that. You know, and I already put the food in the car. So I'm just like, hey, I need this and that because they're at a hotel. I showed him my app and everything. And he just said, nope, PF Chang's policy. We have the utensils on the app. If they didn't click it, they don't get it. So that's just how it is. So us as dashers, us as delivery drivers, don't matter what app you do, always try to get that kind of stuff. But you as customers as well, make sure you ask us on the app or even text us or even call the restaurant. If you call the restaurant ahead of time and be like, hey, you know what, I think I forgot to order utensils. Would it be a possibility? I'm sure I'm sure PF Chang's will be somewhat understanding. I don't know if they're that strict to where if you call them and say, I need utensils, napkins, and they still tell you no, that's kind of messed up. I can't speak about that. I can't speak about that because I'm not PF Chang's. I don't work there. I just know what the dude told me. He said there's a utensil button on the Doordash app, and if you don't click that button, you're not going to get your utensils or your napkins or your soy sauces, or if you wanted hot mustard. anything extra that you want to get, like salt, pepper, napkins, utensils, soy sauce, hot mustard, fortune cookies. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. Make sure if you ordered on the app, because PF Chang's is like that. And I can't, like I said, I don't work there. I'm not the owner of PF Chang's. I don't know nothing about it. So anytime you order off the app, guys, make sure there's not a utensil button or request soy sauce. You know, some places charge. Usually they don't charge for that. But he said, you know, it doesn't matter if it's free. They didn't order it on the app. So since they didn't order it on the app, they're not going to get it. And I'm like, I'm not trying to argue with you, but look at my app. They're at a hotel, 300 J Street. You know, Holiday Inn. I think it's the Holiday Inn. And he's like, I understand, bro, but like I said, it's their fault. Not your fault, not our fault. It's the customer's fault. So I'm just like, you know, I just shut up. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I was real professional about it. I don't necessarily agree with him because, especially if they're at a hotel, maybe they're drunk, maybe they didn't know that, maybe the button's not easy to find, maybe you have to scroll down all the way down till you see the utensil button. You know, and that's not the customer's fault if they didn't know they were supposed to order. And I've never ordered from PF Chang's on the Doordash app, so I can't really speak about it. Maybe I should go on the app right now and check it out. But like I said, for future references, if you're a customer, please make sure that there's not a utensil button, or if there isn't a utensil button, put it in the notes. Hey, I'm at the Sheraton. Hey, I'm at the Holiday Inn Express. Hey, I'm at the Motel 6. Can you please grab some napkins? Make sure there's ketchup. Just put it in the notes, or simply, if there's a utensil button, just click it. Whatever you need, just make sure it's all there. Because if the restaurant tells us, hey, we're not going to give you utensils because the customer didn't click it, then what am I going to do? I'm not going to fight someone over that, or I'm not going to lose my job over that. I'm just going to say, okay, that's fine. You know, I didn't tell the customer that because I didn't want them to get mad. I'm just like, you know. And he simply said if they wanted it, they should have requested it. So they must have not have wanted it that bad, or they must not need it. So I'm just like, okay. I simply think that they needed it. But like I said, I can't argue with them and everything. So like I said, for future references, if you're a customer, just make sure you get everything. Make sure you order the utensils, napkins, especially from PF Chang's. They're a pretty good restaurant, I'm not going to lie. But like I said, if you're at a hotel, you're at your job, you're at your work, you're at, let's just say you're on the streets hanging out, I don't know. You're at the park maybe. Make sure you order those utensils and napkins, because if you don't, I'm sorry, bro, you're going to have to eat with your hands, and there's nothing I can do. I mean, I guess I can go out of my way and maybe buy some utensils, napkins, like a whole box full, but, you know, we're not supposed to even do that. The restaurant's supposed to provide that. So that's actually a restaurant problem and a DoorDash problem. You know, like if DoorDash was like, hey, we're going to give you like a whole box of utensils and napkins just in case the merchant doesn't give you blah, blah, blah. And see, that should be free, right? That should be available upon request. And even if I request it as a dasher, I'm like, hey, the customer needs it. And then they tell me no. And I'm like, what do you mean no? You know, I represent the customer. They're at a hotel. They're going to need it. So I was a little bit upset about that. But like I said, that's why I'm making this video. Make sure if you're a customer, make sure you request that. Make sure you push that utensil button. I don't know if it's on the bottom or if it asks you like once you're checking out, do you want any this and that, this and this and that or whatever. I don't know if it does that. It probably doesn't. So from what it sounds like is it's not very easy to just click the utensil button. You'll probably have to scroll down past the chicken, you know, fried rice, you know, all the menu stuff. You probably have to scroll all the way down. And click the utensil button. So that's a little bit frustrating. And then us as food delivery drivers, make sure you request that. You know, maybe it's not PF Chang's, maybe they're not strict, and you know, maybe in the notes it doesn't say they're at a hotel. But, you know, some people that are new, they don't know the hotels and the addresses. I've been doing this for a while now, so I know exactly what, oh, this is a hotel. 1230J, 300J, you know, like, I pretty much know all the addresses where the hotels are, at least for downtown, you know what I'm saying? So when I see that, Or if I can remember, I'm just like, hey, I need utensils, napkins. Usually I get it right away. So, but except P.F. Chang's. There could be other restaurants that are more strict like that, but I can't. I think, if I remember right, Cheesecake Factory, one time I was like, they need utensils, napkins, and they were like, sorry, they didn't request it. So yeah, Cheesecake Factory is also like that. So Cheesecake Factory, they're strict. You got to request it on the app that you want utensils, napkins. And P.F. Chang's, because I just had that experience right now. So I'm going to go back on my app. Hopefully they didn't rate me bad, but it is what it is. I can't change P.F. Chang's policy. I can't change Doordash's policy. I can't change nothing. You know, I'm just here to report and to give you guys advice so that this doesn't happen in the future. So like I said, if you're a customer, make sure you click that utensils button. And if you're a driver, you know, if they're not as strict, just be like, hey, I need some utensils, napkins. I need like ketchup because they wanted fries or whatever. Always make sure you request everything. Make sure you double check everything, because, you know, once you get there and you deliver to the customer, if they didn't get their utensils, napkins, you know, it's like, you know, especially if it's P.F. Chang's, it's not your fault, right? The customer has to request it. But if it's if it's Cheesecake Factory, then they have to request it on the app. And I'm trying to think of any other restaurants, but I can't think of any right now on the top of my head. So yeah, P.F. Chang's is strict. You have to request on the app if you want utensils, and Cheesecake Factory. And drivers, always try to get that utensils, napkins, unless it's like I just said, P.F. Chang's or Cheesecake Factory, because they're not going to give it to you. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Please like, comment, subscribe. And guys, until next time, guys, that's it. That's all I've got to say. All right. Peace out. See ya.